associated with their benefits. Management, unfortunately, as at the time of audit, have not retrieved monies that went to them. June 2023, you said there was a challenge to the computation. We are now in May 2024. What has happened to these two issues? Have they made the payment?
Thank you, Honorable. The payment has been made. The matter was referred to IOCO. We went through recomputation of the cost and agreed, and finally, all the amount has been paid.
What did you agree on?
I mean, on the new balance, the new fees to be paid, that is 318,748.31. So this was done with IOCO, and the amount has been paid by the person. We have also paid it to.
You said by the person, because here are
Adwa
persons. So
the
which of
amount-
the person paid?
The amount has been paid by Adwa Difie and Pedu, and we have also paid to the Auditor General account, 318,748.31.
So Adwa DFA paid 318 instead of the 325,739. What about Kofi Kumi? 84,503 cedis, 89 pesos.
Yes, Kofi Kumi, in a similar manner, the matter was also referred to IOCO. And according to IOCO, they have agreed on some terms of payment. As we speak, we have retrieved 20,000. And then we are counting on IOCO to get the rest of the money. The last time we received the 20,000 was on the 28th of April, 2024. March, please, 28th March, 2024.
From the narration for Kofi Kumi, I don't see any penalty against his name. Why is it that he has no penalty to pay, but well, the auditors recommended some penalty some way, somehow, but
Honorable, the computations that were agreed upon included penalty.
so you mean the 84,000 includes a penalty?
Yes, Honorable.
What led to the reduction of Adwa DFA's total amount to be paid from 325 to 318? What component?
Honorable, the dispute was on the rate we used to compute the interest. We, at the time, used the prevailing rates, but unfortunately, our attention was drawn to the fact that the bond that was signed by the beneficiary, in the bond is stated Bank of Ghana rate. So we went back and saw that indeed that is what is in the bond the person signed. So we came back and did the recomputation, and she paid.
I hope you've now put systems in place to avoid some of these situations.
It's a tough matter because individuals, it has to do with the individuals. We keep talking to them. We've conducted an orientation recently so that the lecturers are well aware of the consequences of taking such actions. We hope that with these approaches, we will have a reduction in cases of this nature. We only hope. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. But you could relate with other institutions. You are an institution of higher learning, and you have a right to sometimes refuse resignation and let the new institution taking them know that they have failed to serve a bond, and that could deny them such opportunity. And when people know that when you fail to serve a bond, you cannot progress to another level or to another institution, I believe that it could help reduce the situation. Auditors, can you confirm payment of 318,000 plus by AMA DFA, and whether the 20,000 paid by Kumi Kofi to, has it reflected, have you paid it into the account? Have you paid it into the account?
Honorable, because Yoko had taken up the matter, the money was paid directly to Yoko. And they sent us evidence that the Kofi Kumi had paid the money to them and to the BOG recoveries account.
So the evidence they sent to you, have you shown it to the auditors?
Honorable, yes, we have done that.
Auditors, can you confirm?
Mr. Chairman, I can confirm that in the case of Adjoa Dufie and Pedu Esiama, the recomputed figure of 318,748.31 has been duly paid into the appropriate accounts. But in the case of Kofi Kumi, 20,000 out of the 84,506.89 has been paid to Yoko, leaving a balance of 64,503.89, which is yet to be recovered from Kofi Kumi. Thank you, Chairman.
You are indicating the amount is yet to move from Yoko account to the appropriate account as provided or paid to Yoko, but Yoko deposited in the appropriate account.
Mr. Chairman, the 20,000 is still with Yoko. Thank you.
But Yoko too, why should they be keeping? Mr. Chairman, well, where DFA has paid and is deposited in the appropriate account, but that of Kofi Kumi, the 20,000 he has paid is still with Yoko.
They will pay that one too. I'm not sure that they can take the money without. They will definitely pay that money also too. Let's go to paragraph 8.8. Honorable Yusuf.
Chairman, thank you. Chairman, the infraction has to do with judgment debt on earned salary not recovered. The narrative is that one Mr. Kofi Adu Krantin, an assistant librarian, was granted study leave to study at the University of South Africa. 6 months after completion, he resigned without the required 3 months notice. And so he was indebted to the university to the tune of 150,198 Ghana cedi 44 pesos. He failed to pay, so he took legal action against him and got judgments and also some penalty. So the total amount then was 192,748.02 Ghana cedi. He paid 21,619.03. So the outstanding balance as at the time of this audit was 171,129. What is the status of this refund, this money?
Honorable, thank you very much. The matter has been referred to Yoko, and I will let the Director of Finance give us some latest details.
Yeah, so Honorable, the last time we had some form of communication from Yoko was 18th April last month. They indicated that they have been able to contact him, but he is yet to pay monies to them.
Now let's get this right. Is it that he's disputing that he won't pay? Because you had concluded with him, he agreed, and he paid some amount of money. Why is he now going to Yoko? Is it that he said the money was not the right money for him to pay? Or what is the issue now?
Honorable, so the money that was paid, he actually did not pay from his pocket. It was money that we had, which was for him. In fact, the case went to court, and the court ruled in the favor of the university. And because we had that money, we sought the court's permission to use that money to pay part of the debt he owed. And that is what happened. Yoko, like I have already said, they've been having discussions with him. And the last time they mentioned that When he reported to them, they had to cause his arrest. And he's been bailed. So, like I said, 18th April, when we had the discussion with Yoko, we haven't been to them again. We hope that when we go back, we will get back and see whether there's been any development with him.
Yes, you also stated that you were in touch with his current employer. What information have you gotten from them? What effort are they making to ensure that he's able to pay, even whilst you are trying Yoko?
Honorable, because Yoko took the case up, we are more or less relying on the ability, Yoko's efforts to retrieve the money. So even though we wrote to UPSA at the time, immediately Yoko took up the matter. We left everything for Yoko to handle.
From Mr. Kofi. Okay. But I'm sure by now he's a doctor. All right, so Chairman, that is where we are. The case is with Yoko. They are trying to retrieve an amount of 171,129 Ghana cedi from him. They said the last time they spoke with Yoko was in April 18th.
18th April.
On the 18th of April.
Yes.
But is the quarantine, is he in the country?
Yes, he's in the country.
You know where he's working now?
Yesterday when you work.
Yes.
Where is he working?
I think the last time we knew that he was working at UPSC.
You were teaching at UPSC?
Yes.
Chairman, the issue is that he went to court and court ruled in favor of the school. And he didn't go back to court. It means that he accepted the outcome. So what is important now is for him to pay. And so I would have even wished that you go back to court for the execution of your judgment.
It's quite difficult, but we think that Yoko has proved itself reliable in retrieving such money. From my experience so far, when matters of the sort are referred to Yoko, it doesn't take that long than if we ourselves we take it in our hand. So we want to believe that the processing costs will end up very well.
Chairman, my view is that this case happened in 2018, and we are in 2024. And the matter has been with Yoko, I believe, from 2018.
No. Sorry to interject. The matter traveled. It was between the university and him at a point. He went to court, and after the court pronounced the judgment debt.
So when did you report the matter to Yoko?
Just, I think it shouldn't be more than a year.
Why?
Because you were using another method earlier.
But you have not collected anything using that method. The matter went to court. The court ruled in your favor in 2018. The amount involved is 192,000. And from 2018, you have collected only 21,000. And 6 years. After 6 years or 5 years, then you decide to report to Yoko. Why were you all this? Didn't you have any agreement with the man as to how he should pay the money?
In the beginning, there were a lot of misunderstanding, as we are saying. I think there was no agreement in the beginning, so we have to go far till.
So you have not really been pushing. Let me put it bluntly. You have not been pushing, because if the matter has gone to court, court has given you judgment, and the man is supposed to pay the money. 6 years of the line, he has not paid, and you are not. I don't know. You didn't push. Let me be blunt. You were.
Honorable,
we were doing this to him.
No, Honorable, that was not really the case. We didn't. Let me say the matter also took some time in the court. It's not that the court make a judgment, took a resolution and then we were pondering him. No.
No,
It
please.
took some
The
time.
court ruled in 2018. So it didn't take some time in court.
No. Where is the judgment?
The court took less than a year to give you judgment because he resigned 6 months after completion, which was in 2017. So by 2018, the court had given you judgment. All you needed to do was to ensure that the judgment was executed. And you could have gone back to court to say that, look, you give that judgment, the person is not paying. Court could have decided that, okay, if he has any assets, confiscate that. By now, the money would have been paid. So I agree with Rankin. In order to push up the responsibility, you decided to go to Yoko, so that when you are asked, you say, oh, it's with Yoko, it's with Yoko.
Honorable, sorry, but that's still not. Yoko recently, as we explained in the previous submission, we were able to retrieve some of the money, if not all, from other people. So maybe I cannot explain the reason of the delay from 2018 to now. But we believe that the action by the Yoko, they haven't started that far. We are sure that in no time, we will be able to retrieve the money. We want to plead that you give us the chance to work strongly with Yoko. And we believe we will not come back on this.
Was Edo granting himself in court before the judgment was pronounced?
Unfortunately, I wasn't there. I don't know whether any of my colleagues here can tell. We can't tell. We were not there at the time.
You were not in charge, but you were there, working.
Yes,
You were not
Chairman.
in charge then, but you were working at the university.
Yes, Chairman.
Chairman, thank you. Chairman, I'm sorry I walked in it, but I'm surprised that you have a court judgment and you've gone to Iyoko. Normally, court judgments are enforced by the police and not Iyoko. So why haven't you gone to the police to enforce judgment? Because if there are assets you need to confiscate, it will be the police that will help you take possession of it, not Iyoko. So why Iyoko and not the Ghana Police Service to execute the court judgment? Or go back to court to say that you need an order, you need an execution order from the courts, and then the courts give you an execution order that you give to the police service. Why are you going to Iyoko?
Honorable, thank you very much. I think the suggestion is an option we considered we have considered to use in the extreme case, because this situation is not happening for the first time in the university setup. It's a regular situation, and it's happening in other universities too. But I think with experience, we have seen that with Yoko, we are able to retrieve the money. So again, this is a citizen serving in the country, another university. We decided to use this approach first to see whether we can retrieve the money. Perhaps in case it fails, then this will be our last alternative. Yeah, sorry for that.
All right, let's have some trust in the Iyoko to retrieve the money. But you have to do a follow-up again and update us.
We shall do that. Thank you, Chairman.
The next one is paragraph 94, Honorable Aka.
Thank you very much, Chairman. One Mr. Abdul Rahman D. Gareba, a lecturer at your university, resigned and gave only 1 month's notice instead of the 3 months, mandatory 3 months, and that he was supposed to have refunded his whooping salary of 8,288 per month, and amounting to 2 months, 16,577. And it was that you were supposed to collect this amount. I would like to know if Mr. Abdul Rahman D. Gareba has paid that money? Thank you.
Honorable Chair, unfortunately, not yet. At the beginning, we wrote to him, and there were some feedback, but we have referred the matter to IOCO again, and we are following up. This is very recent, so we believe that we shall retrieve this one too, as well. We have further gone to orient other lecturers on the consequences of taking such actions, not respecting actually what is stated in the appointment letters and co.
So in the other case, you took the matter to court. What informed you to refer this to IOCO rather than going to the court?
Sorry, but as I indicated earlier, experience is our guide in this, because if you watch the history of similar cases and how they were resolved in the end, it gives us confidence to go that way. And I think in this case, at the beginning of it, there is always a struggle where the person believes that he could twist the law or something to say no to this payment, but it takes some time for them to accept and understand, and then the retrieval actually happens. So we believe that this is very at the inception level. It will not take long. The money will be retrieved.
So when was the last time you heard from IOCO?
When we went on the 18th April to have feedback on Kofi Edu-Koranten, we tried to have an update on all other matters. So we are just hopeful to get a proper feedback from IOCO on his case.
So should I say that there's laxity at your place? That's why these things keep on coming. Is there some laxity in your institution?
I would say no, because I don't know, but I think our retention rate in terms of staff and lecturers is one of the highest. People stay with us till retirement, but these are just one drop in the ocean. So it's not a common case. It's unfortunate that they are just happening together at the same time now.
All right, Chairman. Matter reported to IOCO, and nothing heard yet.
So IOCO is not the new.
I think the IOCO people should be charging commission for these things. Don't you see? People are using them too much.
No, that is their work.
It's not their work.
This. What is a IOCO?
Send to IOCO, small thing.
Economic Organized Crime Office. Economic and Organized Crime Office. So that is their job.
So
This is organized crime.
you mean when somebody doesn't pay
Yes.
in lieu of notice, it's an organized crime?
Of course, you know the law.
I don't know. Let's go on.
You know the law and you want to avoid it, or it's not organized crime. Then what is it?
Chairman, respectfully, this is default.
It's not default.
It is, because organized crime deals with things like money laundering and serious financial
Okay,
offenses.
remove the organized crime, economic crime. It's an economic crime.
But that is the law. Why should we do this? Why should we
Well, if you come on
No,
economic
it's
crime,
economic and organized crime.
if you come on economic crime, maybe.
is separate from organized. So economic crime. Okay.
See, Chairman,
Yes, Isaac.
My worry is that eventually, I'm not talking about these particular people, but as we go around, everything that management fails to do, they refer to IOCO. IOCO will be overwhelmed and nothing will be achieved. Because little things that management should
in
do.
the past, we ourselves have been recommending that why don't you report the matter to IOCO? We have done that. So please. Yes, Isaac.
Thank you, Chairman. Chairman, if you look at the last column under table 7, the resignation letter indicated that all relevant charges in lieu of notice should be deducted from the benefits due him. So what is the challenge here?
Unfortunately, I will let Director of Finance update us on his benefits.
Unfortunately, he didn't have any benefit to fall on to take the money.
Are working for how many years?
Honorable, I don't know how many years he worked, but in our current dispensation, you are entitled to some form of benefit when you stay and you are retiring. You hit the retirement age. But because he didn't retire and he left, the benefit is not accrued, so we can't take it.
And I would be
He wasn't
surprised.
we have a problem fund, but Honorable, he wasn't a member. He's not. He opted out way before he decided to retire. Resign.
So,
The whole thing was calculated far back, many years.
So we should make a distinction between a case that you are handling on your own and a case that has gone to court and judgment is given. These are two different issues. When you handle a case, you take it to court, court has given judgment, what is left is for execution. But if you are still trying to unravel the matter and you think that Yoko will be the right place to go, that's also a different matter. So for you to want to combine the two, to make them look like they are the same, I have a problem there. So in the case of Kofi Cranton, you should have been pushing for execution of the judgment. But these other ones, you could also give them to Yoko. Like Chairman said, if not, we'll end up piling the Yoko with so many work and they won't be effective. And then we tend to blame them as well. Thanks.
Paragraph 100. Encroachments of ATU land at Mpeasam. Mpewasam. So they call him Mpeasam. So the auditors review the documents and records and also visits the new campus at Mpeasam. It is disclosed that 17-acre parcel of land that belongs to the university had been encroached by unknown persons. Now the family, that is the original owners of the land, proposed to compensate the university with another piece of land. But a search at the Lands Commission shows that the family are actually not the owners of the said land. So the council advised management to demand an official letter from the landowners on the resolution of the issue or take the necessary legal action to repossess the encroached land. The auditors have recommended to management to demand an official letter from the landowners on the resolution of the matter and possibly take legal action to repossess the land. What is the current status on this recommendation?
Mr. Chairman, thank you very much. The land and Pemhosem, there are encroachers on the land. The long and short is that the final resolution is that we should build a fence around the land to strongly show our presence and then our determination that, yes, we believe the land belongs to us. We began this in partnership with the 49th Regiment, and they started building the fence for us. Unfortunately, some of the encroachers we suspect have taken the matter to court and sought an injunction for the construction work to stop. Actually, it has stalled. And we have filed a statement of defense and counterclaim. The court has actually issued a hearing notice to both parties, and we shall be held in court on 23rd May 2024. And this is currently where we are. Beside that, let me leave it there. Thank you very much.
But the land which has been encroached upon actually belongs to the family whom the university acquired that parcel of land. Do you have that
We
evidence?
We couldn't get a clear evidence finally. There are a lot of controversies. We went to several meetings, and we even went to the area. Do you know the I don't know. I think the Abrihine, we went to him, and then he invited us and called the parties. We were there.
Which Hini?
That's the name I want.
Honorable, the paramount chief for Abri.
Abri, okay.
No,
Yes. So he invited us and invited the landowners too, and then we had a thorough discussion.
Okay.
And we are still trying to trash it out from that side, beside the court.
But before the university acquired the land, didn't you do search to be sure that this is the true owner of the land before you acquire it?
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to put on record that we do have a title for the land in question. We do. We
have a title registered as the
Yes.
land title?
Yes.
Okay.
Before it's being encroached. So these are the challenges. There is a small portion.
Vice Chancellor, if you read paragraph 101, the last portion, I think. Okay, is that second parcel of land?
You'll have to make some additions, if you don't mind. Go ahead.
Let's wait.
The family decided to give you another land in compensation for the first one.
Yeah, so the land they wanted to give us in compensation for the initial one, we conducted a search on that land, and we found that the land doesn't have their ownership. So we didn't want to go into another struggle again.
The first one do. That one is
But the
registered.
initial one, we have title to it.
Okay.
So the matter is in court?
Yes, the matter is currently in court. We'll have a hearing on 23rd May, 2024.
All right. Let's hope that the court will rule in your favor so that you can repossess the land.
Thank you very
But I'm
much.
not sure that the entire 17 acre has been encroached.
Oh, no.
Just a portion.
Yeah, a few portions.
Few portions.
Scattered.
Wow. Let's go to paragraph 105, Honorable Isaac Opoku.
Thank you, Chairman. Paragraph 105 is absence of ownership title to 4.579 acres of ATU land at SM in Pemehwasem. The auditors noted that the university has no title deeds to a 4.579 acre land located at Samsam in Pemehwasem in the Ghana West District of the Greater Accra region. So first of all, what is the meaning of Mpemwansam?
I don't want your matter. Please explain.
The land is situated at Mpemwansam, and yet you are running into all manner of challenges. Anyway, have you been able to register the said land?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, we have initiated the processes for registering the land. We secure a barcoded site plan, and after that, we went to Land Commission. We have made all the necessary payment and submitted all documentation. Actually, we are waiting for a final decision from the Land Commission.
I hope you don't have any encroachment on this particular.
No, it is free of problem. No problem at all on this portion.
Sorry, never say that about Accra lands. Here you are, you have a title and somebody's encroaching on it.
Now this one, you don't have it. But we go there often, so where the encroachers are, they are not in that portion for now. We are praying they don't come there. Yeah, we have securities on site now, and we are monitoring every day.
Chairman, I think we can move to the next paragraph.
All right, thank you. The last one, paragraph 110, is on laboratories not in use. The auditors noted that 2 laboratories located at the Impeasem campus, funded by Government of Ghana and the African Development Bank Group, which were handed over to the university in December 2018, were still not in use due to lack of laboratory equipment. So the description is as follows: welding and fabrication laboratory, and 2, interior design and upholstery technological laboratory. Now, because of non-operation of this laboratory, it has denied the students and the community the benefit of these laboratories. The auditors have recommended that the university provide the needed resources for the procurement of the equipment to operationalize the laboratories. What is the current status?
Mr. Chairman, thank you very much. Currently, we are happy to announce that we receive equipment from the CTVET into our welding and fabrication laboratory, and they are being put to use. They are being used currently. However, for the interior design and upholstery technology, we have converted that workshop into a civil workshop, and we are currently we have received many boxes of equipment from the CTVET again, yet to be installed for the civil lab to also be put to use. We have to convert into civil because we did an assessment and we think that we have a workshop and that can that befits the IDUT, the interior design and upholstery technology, on our Chudu campus already. Looking at the number of students and the equipment we have in the workshop, we think that is sufficient. But where we are deficient is in the civil. And then so we went to CTVET and they have given us equipment. Currently we have received quite a huge amount of equipment on campus yet to be installed in the civil lab. But for the welding and fabrication, the equipment have been installed and they are being used already.
Auditors, can you confirm this?
Mr. Chairman, in the case of the welding and fabrication, they have installed equipment and the students are using them. In the case of the interior design and upholstery, it has now been transformed into a civil building technology laboratory and management, and CTVET has given them some equipment which are yet to be installed. Thank you.
All right. That will be all for Accra Technical University. We want to thank you for coming. You are discharged.
We also thank you very much. Thank you, Chairman.
Now let's have the remaining 2 universities to take the oath. Koforidua Technical University and Ho Technical University. Can you come forward and take the oath? So please, Bible, Quran in your right hand. Kindly lift it up. And do say after me. I do in the name of the Almighty God swear. Do in the name of
that the evidence I shall give before this committee touching the matter in issue shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help me God.
Thank you. We'll do Koforia before who? Kindly introduce yourselves to the committee.
Honorable Chair, my name is Professor John Owusu, the Vice Chancellor of Koforidua Technical University.
Honorable Chair, I am Reverend Prince Bafo Ofori, the Director of Finance of Koforidua Technical University.
Good morning. My name is Miss Evelyn Fafadum, Registrar, Koforidua Technical University. Thank you.
Honorable, my name is Alexander Tre, Director of Internal Audit. Thank you.
Honorable Chair, I'm James Bayentia, Senior Accountant, Koforidua Technical University.
Thank you very much for coming. So we'll go straight to your issues. You have about 5 management issues, but Honorable Aziz will look at your financial performance. Honorable Aziz.
Thank you, Chairman. Koforidua.
It's actually starting from paragraph 210 of the
Yes.
report.
Koforidua, it is clearly stated that you may not be capable of meeting your short-term financial obligations. If you can give us briefing on this. And another point I would like to know is what resulted to the reduction of your project grant. Thank you.
Honorable Chair, my Director of Finance will take this. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. The reduction resulted as a result of we accruing the contract of the projects that we were doing. At the end of the year, we had some amount to be paid as a result of work done. But as we speak now, we have been able to manage our resources in such a way that in our current budget, we prioritize all the outstanding debt, and the situation is managed. Thank you.
Auditors, are you aware of the explanation he's given?
Mr. Chairman, as we speak, we are working on the 2023, financial statements, and hopefully by next month it will get to Parliament, and I think all these issues will be found in the report. Thank you.
Okay, Chairman, I yield to you.
Thank you very much. But let me find out from Director of Finance, what contributed to a 38% increase in your employee compensation?
Thank you, Honorable Chair. It resulted as from increase in recruitment, employment in the year, and also pay rise in that same year. Thank you, Chair.
So you have recruited more hands in the year 2022?
Yes, Honorable Chair.
Your current ratio is not good. 0.6 to 1. It's very bad. It's even worsened from 2021, which is 0.7. What are you doing to reverse the trend?
Okay. Honorable Chair, my senior accountant will answer this one.
Honorable Chair, thank you very much. As Director of Final indicated earlier on, currently we are undertaking a project, classroom project, and we accrued 5 million, 4 million in the 2021 and 2022 as liabilities. In fact, it's these two accruals that actually threw our current liability off gear. And as indicated earlier on, we have streamlined that. So going forward, we will not be having those huge accruals at the end of the year, which will reflect in liabilities going up as against current assets. So going forward, this situation will improve. Thank you.
Those liability accrue, have you settled them now?
Yes, please. We've paid the contractors.
Okay. Ranking.
Where do you get the project grants from? The project grant, where do you get it from?
Yes, Honorable Chair, you know, we've trained our lecturers in proposal writing. And so they ran a grant, and because, you know, they have had that kind of training, they are able to get a number of grants. So it's as a result of the proposals that our lecturers write that we get these grants. Thank you.
Is that different from your internally generated funds?
Yes, Honorable. That one is quite different from that.
And why why do you have a drop? I didn't understand the explanation for that. There's a drop in the grant. Why do you have it? The lecturers are refusing to write proposals.
Okay. Honorable Chair, as we are all aware, if you write a proposal, it depends on the funding institution to approve. So that year, we were not fortunate to win more grants. Thank you.
All right, so let's move to the next one. Paragraph 220. Payment in lieu of notice, 25,351 Ghana cedis. Statute 61 of the university states that except as may be otherwise provided by council, a senior member may resign from the position of appointment and thereby terminate the engagement within the university on giving in writing under the senior member's signature to the vice chancellor at least 6 months calendar months, at least 6 calendar months notice. The auditors noted that one Dr. Martin Appiah Kessie, a senior lecturer at the mechanical engineering department, did not provide the required 6 months notice before exiting from the university on 31st December 2022. He only gave 3 months notice via a resignation letter dated 7th October 2022, addressed to the Vice Chancellor. Consequently, Dr. Kessie is to pay a total amount of 25,351.17 as amount in lieu of notice. Dr. Kessie explained that the situation was due to an impromptu family circumstance beyond his control, hence his failure to give the required 6 months notice. The auditors advised management to take the necessary steps to collect the amount from Dr. Kessie and pay same to Auditor General Recovery Account. Have you been able to do so?
Honorable Chair, so far we've been able to recover an amount of 3,948.33 Ghana cedis out of 25,351.17 Ghana cedis. And we have a payment plan arrangement with him. And looking at the kind of payment that is made so far, on 8 March, he made he paid an amount of 1,510, and then on 19th April, he paid an amount of 789.67 Ghana cedis, and then on 3rd May, he also paid an amount of 648.66 Ghana cedis. So far, Honorable Chair, that is why he has paid. Thank you very much.
So you just started paying. All this while, it was April that he started paying.
Honorable Chair, he started the payment in 2023. But in 2023, the payment wasn't that much good. But looking at...
How much did he pay in 2023?
2023, he paid 1,000 Ghana cedis.
The whole of 2023, 1,000 Ghana cedis.
And now we have a payment plan with him.
So what is the payment plan now?
So according to the plan, Honorable Chair, he's supposed to pay 648.66 Ghana cedis per month.
Okay. But he's even doing better than what you have in the plan. What you have read, it means that in April and May, he has paid close to 3,000.
Yes.
Yeah, close to 3,000. You mentioned 1,500. There are another 700, another 600.
Yes.
Close to 3,000 that he paid within 2 months. So he's doing better than what the payment plan you have agreed with him.
Yes, Honorable Chair.
Where is he now?
Now, we do not know his whereabouts.
So how does he pay the money?
Which we don't know his whereabouts, but I WhatsApp him all the time and give him pressure, and management writes to him through his postal address, and then he's been paying. So normally he informs me before he makes the payment.
So
but he doesn't actually, communicate to us where he is currently.
Okay. But he paid to the bank?
Yes, please.
And then he sent you what?
Honorable Chair, sorry, what he does is that he pays to the university, then we quickly process it and go and pay into government chest.
Okay, how does he pay to the university?
We have a designated account which he pays into.
He pays into it?
Yes, please.
Okay, but you verify from the bank that the money hits the account?
We get the bank statement and see the amount with his name before we process it and go and pay to government chest.
Okay.
Thank
but
you.
The challenge is that if he stop paying, if he stop honoring the agreement, how do you get him? Now you're putting pressure on him and he's doing it. If he refuses to respond to your pressure or whatever, what will you do? That's what the challenge is. Auditors, can you confirm what have been retrieved so far?
Mr. Chairman, what has been recovered from Dr. Apia Kessie is 3,948 cedis, 33 pesos. The payment plan that he has with the university is that he's going to use 36 months to make good the outstanding.
That's 3 years.
Yes, we translate into 648 cedis, 66 pesos per month. Thank you.
You will not be able to give me the assurance that if in case he refused to respond to or to honor the terms of the agreement, this is the way you are going to get him. That's a challenge where you. So you have agreed with him, you have a payment plan with him. If you fail to do that, make sure you get him. If you can't get him, we'll ask the university to pay the money. Management, not the university, management to pay the money. Because you have agreed with him, you have to ensure that he honored the terms of the agreement. Mr. Vice Chancellor.
Honorable, I think that's fine.
So
That's
the
fine
honors
with
lie
us.
on you to ensure that he honored the terms of the agreement.
Yes.
Okay.
We'll do that. Thank you.
Auditors, let's take note of that.
We are guided, Chairman.
All right, paragraph 227, Abo Johnson.
Thank you, Chairman. 227, one Dr. Prince Champon, a lecturer at the accounting department at the university, was granted a 4-year study leave with pay to pursue a PhD program at the Griffin University in Australia. And the package of study leave included a payment of monthly salary for the period, and then a yearly approved allowance amount of 8,000 Ghana cedis. After the completion of his program, he requested for an extension of 6-month leave, which was granted by the university. Eventually, he was supposed to return back to the university, which he failed and later resigned. So you were to ask him to refund the money which the university spent on him for the study. Please, has the money been refunded yet?
Honorable Chair, so far, he's paid an amount of 25,001 CD point 66, 25,000.66 Ghana cedis, leaving a balance of 283,576.71 Ghana cedis.
And what has the university been doing to retrieve the money, the rest of the money?
We've given him a number of calls, and so far, in his response, he has indicated to us that he had some challenges, some health challenges with his family, and recently he wrote a letter to us. That one has been indicated as Appendix B. Did they have it? Did they have it? So, Honorable Chair, he has written indicating that he will resume payment. He will resume payment in July. Thank you very much.
So, have you instituted any legal action yet?
Honorable, so far, we've given the issue to the Yoko, and so the Yoko is dealing with it. But then, you know, the letter he wrote to us is dated just 31st March 2024. This one is very, very current. Yes.
Meaning you have that assurance that he's going to refund the money?
Honorable.
Event he doesn't do that, comply with that, what happens next?
The Yoko has still requested for his details, and we've given it to them, and we hope that they will pursue the issue. So for now, we are waiting on Yoko, but we still have the assurance that at least with the letter written to us, he will make good his promises. Thank you very much.
When did you give the matter to Yoko?
That was 23rd April 2024.
Since 2018? No, 2022 that he completed the program. Okay. Auditors, can you confirm how much has been paid so far?
Mr. Chairman, we can confirm the recovery of 25,001 cedi, 66 pesos. The outstanding is 283,576 cedis, 71 pesos. Thank you.
Chairman, the matter has been referred to Yoko. Thank you.
Yeah, Honorable Isaac.
Thank you, Chairman. Chairman, I want to find out from management and what they have stated under paragraph 236 on securing insurance / bank guarantee before granting approval for study leave to prospective staff. Management wish to state that the recommendation is not feasible. Why is it not feasible?
Okay, so Prof. Chair, Honorable Chair, we made a number of inquiries from some banks, and they indicated to us the difficulty in pursuing this matter. But then we still want to see other banks and see the possibility of, the possibility of ensuring that this kind of recommendation can be made feasible. So we will look at the possibility of going to see other banks. For now, that is what we intend to do. Thank you very much.
Honorable Yusuf.
I was going to ask a different question, but I'm not satisfied with the response you gave. You have stated here categorically that the proposal made is not feasible. That's what you said. And you're now saying that you are considering going to talk to banks. Did you talk to the banks before making this statement?
Yes, we did. And because they indicated to us that they will have a challenge implementing such a thing, that's why we indicated that it will not be feasible for management to implement it. However, as I have already indicated, we intend to do further checks to find out the possibility of implementing such a policy.
Principal, I see this as a contradiction. First of all, if you ask me, it means that you hadn't exhausted the process of consultations on the basis of which this statement would have been made. So if you were still in the process of consulting, how do you conclude by saying that it's not feasible? Under your circumstance.
Yeah.
Is your circumstance different from other universities because they are able to do it?
So Honorable, going forward, we will ensure how this policy will be implemented. Even though we indicated at the time that we could, the policy could not be feasible, but we still want to explore and see how this one could be done.
So you've changed your mind?
Yeah.
Oh, well, not that we've changed our mind, but the issue is that, depending on circumstances, depending on time and all of that, sometimes there may be certain things that you cannot do within a certain period of time. But however, as time goes on, maybe as you explore more, you could have a way out.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Honorable Chair.
Yes.
Yeah. Honorable Chair, yeah. At that time, the challenge we encountered was that it's not the fees. If the bank was saying if it's the fees, then we know that the fees is this amount. All this in lieu of leave is related to salaries. And they find it difficult to know the amount because the increment that will come. So that
Mr. Coulson, I saw your hand up.
Mr. Chairman, what I wanted to put across is this. In fact, it's not as far as we are concerned, It is not the responsibility of the university to do that. It is rather the responsibility of the beneficiary, right, to go to either an insurance company or a bank to get a bank guarantee or insurance guarantee to enable him, to enable the institution process that document. So that is all that we are saying. We are not saying that the institution rather should go to the banks for that purpose. Thank you.
I agree with you. It's a condition that the institution will put up that, look, before we can grant you, give us this guarantee. And that is not the institution that will go for it. So I agree with you. But I'm looking at the letter written by Dr. Prince Champon. He claimed that the amount he paid is 26,237.76. Is that the case?
25.
The letter he wrote, he said, I personally reported to the school on my return to Ghana in 2022, requested for the payment plan. After making some initial payment amounting to 26,237.76. So that is the figure he quoted. But you gave us 25,000. So what the difference?
Honorable Chair, please, I think he made a mistake in his calculation because the money he paid to the university, which we paid to government chairs, is exactly the 25,000 cedi.66 pesos. So probably in his write-up, he probably made a mistake. Thank you. We have all the receipt, the evidence.
But you have to respond to his letter. Because he'll be using the 26,000 as what he had paid so far.
Thank you very much.
And he promised to resume the payment in
July.
In July, 31st July 2024.
Thank you.
All right, let's go to paragraph 237. Unaccredited revenue collected by the Zenith Bank Ghana Limited, 133,005 Ghana cedis. The review of the bank reconciliation by the auditors shows that Zenith Bank account number stated here, Koforidua branch, disclosed that the total amount of 133,005 Ghana cedis collected on behalf of the university for the period September 2021 to December 2022 was yet to be credited to the school's account. Has that been done now?
Yes, Honorable Chair, we have retrieved all the money from the bank, Zenith Bank. Thank you.
Auditors, can you confirm?
Mr. Chairman, confirmed. Thank you.
Okay.
So why is it that these monies were not credited for almost more than 1 year, and your institution didn't do anything about it, or you didn't notice anything?
Okay. Thank you, Honorable Chair. We knew about it. In fact, our internal audit even found out before the external auditors also came. However, it was a system failure from the bank, that when they received the payment, they couldn't assign it to a particular student account, and it went to a suspend account. And when we notified them, some they were able to rectify as soon as possible, but these amounts delayed. And after the auditor's work, we also pursued it, and we have retrieved it. Thank you.
Is the bank still working for you?
Thank you. We suspended them for a while, but we have indicated to them that from next academic year, they can collect the fees. But not, this issue happened because of the short code that we were using. So we have taken them from the short code.
Okay, Chairman.
Paragraph 243, Honorable Sam George.
Thank you, Chairman. Chairman, I was trying to catch your eye on the Zenith Bank issue. I was just trying to find out from them if the bank will pay with interest. Because if it was the school that owed the bank money for this long, the bank would have taken it with interest. So is the bank, have they written to the bank that don't just return the money, but return same with interest? Because it's government money. If it was the school that owed, they would have taken it with interest from them. Chairman, I don't know if you are permitting it as a follow-up question or if you are taking it as commentary.
Go to your question.
Chairman, my question deals with is from paragraph 243, overdue school fees. Chairman, everybody seems to be taking money away from Koforidua Tenkar University. Whilst the bank is taking some, their students too are taking some. 526,332 Ghana cedis from 560 students who have completed the school but owe varying amounts of monies. And Chairman, if it is not that we are paying for the airtime and we don't have a lot of money to pay, I would have listed all the 560. I would have mentioned all their names so that their family members will hear. And maybe that will help you get the money. But I'm worried reading the management response. Because the management response says that of the 526,000 that is owed the school, you've been able to recover 42,283. If I was a pastor, this doesn't even qualify for tithe. It's not even 10%. So how is it that you have this large number of students who've gone through the school, graduated, and not paid?
Thank you, Honorable Chair. When we received the report, management instituted a committee to look into the matter. And from the committee's report, it came out that about 93% of the amount, representing 488,000, related to students who had abandoned their programs, including those who are deceased. And 6%, representing 36,000, from 50 students have been recovered. The amount had been recovered, 36,000. The remaining 1% of the overdue fees from 5 students are yet to be paid by then. But as we speak, one person came to take his certificate, and the amount he owed, which was 100 cedi, has been collected. So as we speak, it's only 4 students that we can say from the report they are owing.
This is a very interesting response. So you are saying that almost 500 students abandoned their course at Koforidua Tenkar University.
Yes, Honorable Chair.
Why?
Honorable.
How many students do you have in the whole university?
As of now, we have about 10,000 students.
And you have a huge...
And it is not a year, it is an accumulated period. Over the years, when I think we had a system problem, from 2014 upwards, I think they were transferred. We promoted them without looking at whether they are active students or not. And we built them. That resulted in this challenge.
But the figure you mentioned is different from what is in the report here, because you mentioned that you've recovered 36,000, you say?
Yes, it was.
You say you've recovered 36,000, but here in the report it says 42,000. So what's the
Honorable
disparity?
Chairman, it's in our update. This, what you read earlier on, was what was captured at the time, but the update we've given, we have these details in that update. Thank you.
So it means that the amount you gave to the auditors had not been verified?
Honorable, the 42 at the time was what actually the auditors verified, which was, and then they gave us the 526,000, which they said was overdue school fees, which Director of Finance indicated that we actually did not also understand. So we said, no, if that was the case, we were supposed to also look into it. We set up a committee, the committee investigated and came out with their findings. And their findings were in threefold. The first one is the 488 students who abandoned programs, but you see the way we're billing them, the billing system, we had a system actually that we had a challenge. So we were sending them to the next class without checking whether those students were actually still on campus or they have abandoned their program or some of them were diseased. So it was the report that revealed that. And then
Chief, wait. Your response, I'm reading the management response. Let me read it in full. The committee that was set up by management to review the student debtors ledgers is working assiduously to ascertain the stated amount. That's the 526,000. The committee has so far identified an amount of 42,283 Ghana cedis being paid by students into the university's bank account. The committee continues to work to establish the authenticity or otherwise of the amount left, and you'll be updated. So your committee ascertained that 42,283 Ghana cedis had been paid into your account. And you said this to the auditors, and I'm sure provided evidence. That's how come it was captured in the report. So how did that committee verify 42,000 in your account, and now you are telling us 36,000?
Thank you very much, Chairman. Just as your the last statement that they will be updated. So it was subsequently, there was another committee again that was set up, or there was phase 2. The first committee had that. Then we set up a second committee. And it was the second committee that came out with the figures we just mentioned. So in our current response, what we have just provided, the copies we've given to honorables, is there. We've now updated what happened subsequently.
So you are saying that the first committee did a shoddy job and identified 42,000 Ghana cedis in your accounts from students that did not exist? Or auditors, what evidence did you see of the 42,000?
Mr. Chairman, this was the final response that they gave, which was incorporated into the report. The subsequent, committee that was set up came out with a different thing, which they themselves had put out as a response. And what happened was that the committee came out with 480 students who owed 488,315.50. But these people had abandoned their programs of study. Then there were 51 people who had also paid 36,974 Ghana cedis. The balance outstanding is 1,642 Ghana cedis.
Auditors, I hear you loud and clear. The question I'm asking,
yes,
the first committee did not say that they have identified 42,000 as monies that should be paid. They said it is monies that have been paid into the university's accounts by students. So are they saying that what they reported in their final management response to you as having been paid was wrong? Because it's not that they said they identified it, calculation, and have identified that this is what is outstanding. They said these monies were paid into the university's account. So the disparity is what I'm at a loss at.
Mr. Chairman, what they stated was that the committee has so far identified an amount of 42,000 being paid. As to whether it was finally paid or not, that was not the case when the second committee sat. So what the second committee came out with was the fact that that 42,000 cannot stand the test of time.
So
And
if I hear you, the 42,000 was not in the account.
Not in the account at the time. That's what I'm trying to put across.
So then how come you say it was being paid?
Honorable, the issue is the first committee that was set up. Honorable Chairman, the first committee that was set up was limited. It did not encompass all the departments that has something to do with school fees. So it was finance directorate staff who were in charge of school fees. They checked from all our bank statements and they identified that 42,000 at the time. So later on, the second committee that was set up, we made it comprehensive. I mean, the scope was widened. We have to include student services, those who do admission, and all that to go into the system and check what actually happened. So the second committee, because of the composition that was very extensive, they were able to dig into some of this and they came out with this subsequent one. But the first 42,000, as I indicated, they were all identified in the bank statement at the time, meaning that the figure could have been more than the 542,000. So at the time, that was what they identified. Then subsequently, the 552 was in dispute. So there, that management said, no, if that's the case, let's widen the committee. Let's include everybody who has something to do with school fees. And then let us all find out what was the issue. It was based on that this committee, which was made up of all the departments involved in something that has something to do with school fees, then came out with these final findings, which we then updated the Auditor General subsequently.
Auditors, the 36,000, because auditors, if I hear you right, you didn't get any evidence of the 42,000. The 36,000, do you have evidence of it being paid?
The receipt, the bank statements are there.
Mr. Chairman, the 36,974, we have evidence to that effect.
But you never saw evidence of the 42,000?
Mr. Chairman, it was a response that was given, but we never got the evidence. Thank you.
Chairman, there's been a lot of English. For me, that doesn't add up. But if they say now it's no longer 42,000, it's 36,000, and they have evidence of that, we are in your hands, Chairman.
Thank you very much. Mr. Vice Chancellor, what concerns me is these were students who were admitted between 2014 and 2017. Now, you set up a committee. Was a committee as a result of the audit, or you set it up before the auditors came in?
It was as a result of the audit.
That is even scarier.
Yeah.
A university, you have students, and you don't know whether they have paid or not, or who has dropped out, and it has to take external auditors to come in and point it out to you. I have an issue with management.
Honorable, I think it has been indicated already that even before the external auditors came to do the auditing, our internal auditors had actually uncovered this. Thank you.
All right. Let's move on to the last one.
Mr. Chairman, I want to clarify an issue before we move on. So, Mr. Chairman, if you sum up the 1,642, which is now outstanding, with that of the 36,000, which has been recovered, with the balance of the 480 students, which is 488315, you get the 526,000 that the auditors raised. So the 42,000 cannot be an issue that was part of the 526,000 that we raised initially. Thank you.
The 42,000 you mentioned, is it in the cities or the students?
Mr. Chairman, it's cities.
So There was an issue of 42,000 Ghana cedis.
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
But you are saying that the actual the 42,000 should not come in because it's supposed to be 36,000 plus outstanding of 4,642.
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. Paragraph 4, 248, delay completion of data center projects. Auditors have noticed that the investors is yet to complete the data center. Now, the management attributed the non-completion of the phase 2 of the projects to lack of funds. The situation resulted in poor campus network infrastructure and the payment of high costs of cloud hosting services. Management is recommended to ensure the completion of the project to serve the purpose. What is the status of the data center project?
Honorable Chair, we've made a budgetary allocation of 350,000 for this year. And this one is to be done in the third or fourth quarter of 2024. Thank you very much.
What is the source of the money, the budget you made? Is it coming from GOG or IGF?
Honorable Chair, this is from IGF. Thank you very much.
And you have a contractor already in place. You're not going to procure a new contractor.
Honorable Chair, the second phase is the, I think, supply of equipment. So we'll go through the procurement processes.
Now it says third or fourth quarter. I want you to give me a specific time frame. When are you going to procure the items?
Honorable Chair, fourth quarter.
Fourth quarter?
Yes. Thank you.
Why not third quarter?
There are a number of other projects that we need to complete before we can actually devote finances to this.
So it means that
but we hope that
this is not a priority project.
Oh, Honorable, it is. But we hope that at least by the fourth quarter, at least we will be a bit free in devoting finances to this. Thank you very much.
Auditors, we have to monitor them.
Mr. Chairman, we are guided. Thank you.
We'll be meeting you again before the fourth quarter. We want to hear some good updates when we meet, probably in September.
Thank you.
We'll be taking the 2023 report. So, just for your information. That'll be all for you, your discharge.
Thank you very much, Honorable.
Let's have whole technical university. Kindly introduce yourselves to the committee.
Chair, thank you very much. My name is Christopher Mensah, Associate Professor in Hospitality and Tourism Management and an approved Vice Chancellor. I'm representing the Vice Chancellor.
Honorable Chair, my name is Christopher Ameho, the Registrar.
Honorable Chair, my name is Nicholas Kofi Awaga, the Director of Works and Physical Development.
Honorable Chair, my name is Augustine Kwame Usu, the Director of Finance.
Honorable Chair, my name is Frank Klu, Acting Head of Internal Audit.
What is the Vice Chancellor himself?
Honorable Chair, he is currently on a working visit to Germany.
Working visit. Do you have some branch in Germany?
We have Erasmus Plus project, and is mandated by the terms of the project to visit one of the universities in Germany.
Okay. All right, so you're welcome. We have about 6 infractions in the report. But we'll look at your financial performance first. Paragraph 163 of the report. And it says that your surplus dropped by 33.2% between 2021 and 2022. Even though your government subvention increased, I can see that your IGF dropped by 17.9%. That's an issue factor, probably that contributed mainly to that. Can you explain why your IGF, which is student fees, dropped?
Honorable Chair, the Director of Finance will answer.
Honorable Chair, thank you. The 2021 IGF was higher than the 2022 because in 2021, there was a spillover from 2020 academic year into 2021. That increased the revenue for 2021. So, but in 2022, the revenues there represent only that year's IGF. That is why there was a drop.
So the 2021 report is actually misleading.
Honorable Chair, can I?
I'm saying that, does it mean that the 2021 account is actually misleading? Because there's an income or revenue which was brought from the previous year, which did not actually relate to the actual performance of 2021. So we can conclude that the 5.1 million surplus you made in 2021 is actually not the real surplus.
Honorable Chair, it is so because the academic year 2020, we ran half in 2020 because of the COVID. So that the other half was completed in 2022. Then we ran, at the same time, all the 2021 academic year. So that is why there is this one.
What accounting system are you practicing? Accrual, cash, modified cash, or what?
Please, we are using Accrual.
Accrual.
Yes, please.
So if you're using accrual, the spillover from 2020 to 2021 could have been accounted for in 2020.
Honorable Chair.
You are using cash.
It will appear so because of the explanation I've given. But in reality, because of the COVID, the academic year didn't start early. It started very late. That is why the second semester of that academic year started in January 2021. Then after that, we quickly ran the 2021 full academic year.
No, your accounting reporting system starts from January and ends in December.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So if you are running a cash system, whatever you receive or collect within that period is treated as a revenue. But you say you are running accrual.
Yes.
It means that for that year, 2020, the money you are supposed to collect as revenue could have been recognized in 2020, but you rather recognize it in 2021 because you received them in 2021.
Not exactly, in the sense that the academic year was suspended because of the COVID. We are home. So not that the academic year had opened. Because it was suspended, there were no activities, academic activity for a large part of 2020.
Anyway, these are professionals arguing. And just like lawyers, I was also arguing. If I were you, I would have treated that revenue, recognized it in 2020, and treat that portion which was not collected as student debts.
Mr. Chairman, well noted. But my decision was that because the academic year didn't start, and because there were no academic activities, recognize the income there was not, according to what I thought, was not the right thing. That is why I recognized the income in periods where there were academic activity for the year.
Then you can't say it's a spillover.
Sorry for the way you say.
Then you can't say it's a spillover. It's not a spillover because that income was not earned in 2020, it was earned in 2021.
Exactly.
So it's not a spillover.
Well taken, sir.
In earlier years, you had a challenge with your student numbers. They were low.
Yes, sir.
And therefore, your revenue was also low. What is the situation now?
Honorable Chair, thank you. Our situation now is that the student numbers have improved dramatically. Now we are about 7,000 students as we speak today.
From which number?
In 2019, we were talking about 3,400 students, but currently it is 7,000.
Okay, well done.
Thank you, sir.
All right, thank you. Your current ratio is not bad, so just make sure you maintain it so that you don't slip. Let's go to paragraph 172, ranking.
Student indebtedness from the year 2011 to 2023. The amount involved is 7.443093.94 million. What have you done about it?
Honorable Chair, as at 2nd May 2024, we have been able to collect 4,738,152 cedis, 22 pesos from the students.
Give me the figure again.
4,738,152 cedis, 22 pesos.
How much of this is current? I mean, the outstanding.
The outstanding is now 2,749,000, and about 2 million of such are very current.
Current. Okay. You're talking about, is it from when? From the 2021 that you consider as current? Because the figures are really big from 2020. 2020, the amount involved was 2 million. 2021 or 2022 is 2.38 million. And then 2020 is 1. So What do you consider as current?
Current in the sense that they are either in school or they just exited school, and that when they come, their certificates are ready and they are coming, the university can be able to retrieve the outstanding school fees.
What about if they don't come? They don't come for their certificates.
Apart from certificates, there are other student services that we give to students, like transcript, letter of English proficiency. We give all these to students. So anytime any student wants to access a service, we go to his ledger. If there's any outstanding balance, he's asked to go and pay, show evidence of payment before such service is extended to the student.
I'm not too happy about the level of indebtedness. Like I said, as at the end of 2021, the amount or the 2021 amount is 2,035,000. What system are you putting in place to make sure that you minimize this kind of indebtedness?
Honorable Chair, the academic year usually starts from September. The university has a fee collection policy, which states that a student can pay 60% in the first semester and 40% in the second semester. GTEC also made a recommendation that it should be 50 first semester, 50 second semester. So if a student can pay 50% for the first semester, at 31st December when the year is ending, he's still owing half, which will reflect in our debtors. So from January when the students come back for the second semester, we are able to collect it. Currently, the school is implementing what we call the school management systems, where student has to pay school fees, register on the system, and after registration, it's there that the student will be allowed or will be allowed to write his mid-term exam using the system. So then, because of that, if the student hasn't paid now, he will not be registered and he cannot write the mid-semester exam and for that master the exam. So this is a system that we have put in place which is going to check students from not paying the school fees. Of course, we make allowances for students on scholarship, either MPs or these assemblies who present us with letters. We allow them to write until the funds are ready. So this is a system that we have put in place to check student debtors going forward.
Okay, let me seek some little clarification. If you look at the table, is amounts as at 31st December 2022. Does it mean that all these old amounts are outstanding still, or they have been cleared? This one, I want the auditors to help me.
Honorable Chair, so far, an amount of 4,738,152.22 has been recovered as at 2nd May 2024, leaving a balance of 2,704,941.78.
Thank you. Finally, this is your new system that you have put in place. Is it going to help to reduce the level of indebtedness, or there will always be some huge debts?
It will reduce the indebtedness to the extent that the fee collection policy is being implemented. Like I explained earlier, if the student doesn't have the money to pay 100% and he pays 50%, at the end of December 31st, you'll be owing. But that doesn't mean that it's not recoverable. It will be recovered or to be paid in the next academic year, which starts from January.
I thought you said you have a system that would disallow the student from writing exams if he hasn't paid. That's something you mentioned, some
Yes.
students management system. So if the system will disallow the person from writing, then it means that virtually every student who wants to write the exams will not be able to owe. Is that not what it means?
That is, any student who will be allowed to write the 2 exams in the semester will have 0 balance. Because in the first semester, even if you have paid 50%, it will allow you to register and write. But in the second semester, if you have not paid the full 100%, it will not allow you to write the exam. So students will not be carrying forward their students' school fees arrears.
Paragraph 179, Honorable Mills.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Now, we have set up an ex gratia payment system, but then you don't have any funding strategy or funding sources for this ex gratia. What is the status of this situation now?
Honorable, the ex gratia payments were as a result of agreement that the union had with fair wages. So it is not, it is, if you like, it was imposed on us. The university currently don't have the necessary liquid cash to set up a fund, because we are coming from a situation where we didn't even have student numbers, and because of that, our IGF was not encouraging. So what the university did was to look at our expenditure levels, where we decided to cut down discretionary expenses like committee allowances, invigilation allowances. Then we added it to the ex gratia expenditure line, so that those who are exiting the university will be able to pay them. And so far, that has worked. So if the university finances improve, we are going to set up a fund from which the ex gratia will now be paid.
Do we have enough to pay for the ex gratia obligations at the moment?
Yes, we do.
You see, looking at your response at paragraph 184, management had implemented effective measures that have already improved the income generating capacity of the university's production units, such as auto workshop, clinic, basic school, and restaurants.
Yeah.
And have these been yielding enough to cover the ex gratia obligations?
Honorable Chair, yes, it is earning us enough. So because of that, we are able to service them as and when they exit. We have some arrears from last year, which we hope to pay by end of May. Then the rest, as it comes, it doesn't accrue in bulk over the year. It stretches from month to month. So as and when it comes, we will be able to pay. The only thing is that we don't have money sitting in any investment or sinking fund that we'll be using to pay. So for now, we are paying out of current budget, so that if our resources improve, we can now set up a fund dedicated solely for the payment of ex gratia.
I had a contradictory answer. First question, do you have enough to cover? You say yes. Then, now we have some some arrears. So it means the answer is you don't have enough to cover your ex gratia obligations now.
Honorable Chair, I said yes because I know that there's a provision to pay next month. There's funds allocated to be paying next month. That's why I said that.
Auditors, have the situation improved?
Mr. Chairman, our concern was this. We're looking at a situation where the institution doesn't have any funding source. And very soon, you will see about 5, 10, 20 people going on retirement within a particular period. Would they be having enough, budget allocation to deal with the daunting task that will be ahead of them? The situation where those who exit will want to take them to court because of non-payment of ex gratia was our concern. In fact, that was the main reason why we cautioned that it would be better to find a reliable funding source to deal with the ex gratia issue. Thank you.
Yeah, I've looked at the article 33.1 of the Unified Condition of Service for unionized staff of the whole technical university that provides that ex gratia of 1 month's salary shall be paid to for every successful year of service of an employee on retirement who served a minimum of 10 years. So if a staff is leaving, is it going on retirement, or if I serve 10 years and I've decided to leave the university, am I qualified or only on retirement?
Honorable Chair, it's only on retirement.
Only on retirement?
Yes.
So if 1 month's salary is, let's say, 10,000, when I'm going on retirement and I've served 10 years, I'm going to take 100,000. Is that the case?
Yes, Honorable Chair.
No, even if you serve 20 years, it's limited to 10 years or?
No.
Oh, okay. To qualify is minimum
the number of years
10.
that you
So if
served.
I've served for 20 years,
Yeah.
it will be 1 month's salary times 20.
Yes, Honorable Chair.
So the concern here is that if you don't have any proper funding source, a time will come you find it difficult to meet the obligation of paying ex gratia to the staff. Assuming, as you said, 10 people are retiring this year, and let's say they are all senior lecturers, their salary is huge. Can you afford it? And each of them has served 20 years. Can you afford?
Honorable Chair, it will be difficult for us in the sense that we don't have a reliable funding source as we speak now. But management has taken a decision that when our cash situation improves, we will now set up a sinking fund going forward from which we will be able to have liquid resources to take care of them. But now it is difficult, sir.
Your salaries now are funded by the government. Is that not right?
Yes, right.
And so, what the way I understand is that you don't even have enough internal resources to pay yourself. The government is funding your salaries now, and you are taking on another obligation that in 10 years' time might overwhelm you. And then I hope you will not then say that the government should pay the ex gratia. So if you can look for a funding for the ex gratia, and I know that the only income you are getting is really not from restaurants and auto workshop. It's from student school fees.
Honorable Chair.
And so are you going to use the student school fees to pay ex gratia?
Honorable Chair, like I said earlier, these are negotiated conditions of service that were imposed on the universities, not the university which agreed with the staff. It is coming from central government. So it is really difficult for the universities. It's one of the challenges that we face.
Would you consider part funding, like social security? The employees contribute and the government also contribute. So there's some part funding. But if this one, this is an addition, is that it? So I'm suggesting that maybe there should be an agreement to fund part so that there will be funds to pay when the time comes. Thank you.
You made a point that this is something that is imposed on you.
Yes, Honorable Chair.
From national.
Yes, Honorable
Which
Chair.
organization?
Honorable Chair, it's a negotiation between the unions, ASPAT, the universities, and then the Fair Wages and Salaries Commission.
Okay. So it applies to all the technical universities?
Yes, Honorable.
Does it apply to the traditional university too?
I think they have a different condition of service so far.
At least for all the technical universities?
Yes.
Now, that negotiation, what source of income was identified to fund this?
Honorable Chair, all various funding sources were explored.
Okay.
Without paying any specific attention to a specific funding source. And for the unions, when it's about their conditions of service, they will insist that they should have a favorable condition of service. So our responsibility as a management...
Have you been a member of the union before?
I am a member of TUTAG.
Have you been a member of the union before? This is my question. I'm not saying now.
Since my engagement as a staff of the university, I've been a member of the union.
So you were part of those days. Whenever you want anything that to your benefit, you insist, isn't it?
Honorable Chair, so far as it's to the benefit of the employees.
You insist. All right. You because of the statement you made, you used they. You should have said we. That is why I asked you that question. But my concern is that if the organization, is it a labor Fair Wages Commission? If Fair Wages Commission agree with the union for you to pay the ex gratia, then it means that government, in a way, is involved.
Honorable Chair, that is so.
Then government, if you are in difficulty, you fall on government.
Honorable, well noted.
Of course. Fair Wages is representing the government. They have agreed with the union that pay them ex gratia. If you don't have the money, tell government that I don't have the money. They cannot put this down your throat without any involvement. We know that the IGF is also government money. But if it's not sufficient to pay, then we have to fall on the central government for support.
Honorable, we are grateful for this suggestion and advice.
I'm sure if it is left to you alone, you would have agreed on what you are now asked to implement. But it comes from the Fair Wages commission that you should pay the union this amount of money on exiting. So I think that auditors, your concern you raise is very true, very legitimate that in future it will create some challenges. And so it's good that you are highlighting this. And clerks, let's take note of this. We have to also bring this to the attention of the floor for members to comment on. All right, paragraph 185, Honorable J. Burton.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Chairman. This has to do with delayed projects. And between 2016 and 2021, you awarded 5 projects, total cost of about 31 million. And then payments made at the time of the audit was about 8 million. But the projects had delayed, ranging between 2 and 72 months. I think you know about all those projects. The report carries photographs of the projects and the states then. What is the situation now? Have we been able to have some progress made on these projects?
All right. Thank you, Honorable Chair. Yes, in some instances, and no in others. For instance, sorry, we had 4 GET Fund projects on our campus, and they are quite huge, as you mentioned. The 20 units apartment currently had seen some level of improvement after the last audit, i.e. fence wall, septic tank, reservoir, and what have you. That is one of the GET Fund projects. Largely, the other 3, as indicated, have not seen any progress. The other project had to do with IGF project, which is a construction of upper floor of the Greek engineering block. At the time of the visit or audit, it was about 97% complete. As we speak, it was completed and handed over a couple of months back. In fact, I must also add that the university went ahead to procure additionally 300 pieces of student table and chair to make it usable. So in brief, Honorable Chair, these projects have seen some level of improvement partially, others haven't. Again, I must also add that unanimously all the contractors petitioned management, for the matter entity, and the consultants collaborated with them to look at review of rates. We are talking about projects that were awarded as early as or far back as 2009, and they are still running. The rates are no more useful or applicable looking at our current condition, and so they all applied for review of rates. HTU entity received same through the consultants and forwarded it to central tender review, since all of the rates are above the threshold of the entity. And so we are waiting for concurrent approval from central, and we'll apply to GET Fund for a no objection for the contractors to come back to site. So in brief, Honorable Chair, that is the level of the delay project.
So, in effect, about one of the projects has been completed.
Honorable Chair,
That's
yes.
the IGF.
That's the IGF one, sir.
That one is completed.
Yes, please.
Okay, so I think that the auditors can confirm that aspect for us, then we'll look at the others. But in any case, at the time of the audit, management said that GET Fund had put in place some strategy to finish the project. So what has happened to that strategy?
All right, thank you, Honorable Chair. I think the strategy is still in place, i.e. paying from central GET Fund budgetary allocation. Hitherto, each university is allocated a fund, though still the fund is still with Get Fund. They pay based on the budgetary allocation. Currently, as the payment certificate is due, Get Fund pays from their central or centrally located budgetary allocation, let me use that word, and it's still in force. And so we are very hopeful that once the review is approved and the contractors come back to site and certificates are submitted to Get Fund, they will be paid from that same procedure, sir.
So do I get the understanding that what is holding back the project is the review that has not been done with the rates?
Honorable, largely yes.
All right. So auditors, can you confirm the project that is their own project which they were executing, whether it's gotten to that stage?
Mr. Chairman, the project that is being funded by the IGF or being funded with the financing from IGF has been completed and commissioned. I can also confirm that the first one, the construction of 5-story, 20 units, 3 bedrooms self-contained, the walling, the security post, platform for water reservoir and septic tank have been completed. In connection with the 3 other Get Fund projects, Mr. Chairman, I can confirm that new rates have been submitted to the Central Tender Review Committee for approval. Thank you.
Chairman. So the auditors have confirmed that the project that the university is executing on their own has been completed. And then the others, we are waiting for the review of the rates.
So what is the response of Get Fund for the request by the contractor for review of the rates?
Honorable Chair, thank you. The procedure is that once the entity receives and forwarded to Central, until we get the concurrent approval from Central Tender Review, we would not currently hear from Get Fund. So when we receive the response or the concurrent approval, we'll forward them to Get Fund for a no objection, and the contractors will be compelled to come back to site, sir.
So you haven't received feedback from the Central Review Committee yet?
Honorable, no, not yet, sir.
Have you been doing follow-up?
Yes, in fact, it was just submitted a couple of weeks ago,
Okay.
2 weeks or so.
Okay.
And we are hopeful, sir.
All right, let's move to paragraph 191. Honorable Roxon.
Chairman, thank you very much. Vice Chancellor, you are welcome. The case of the auditors is that, contrary to your own terms of your CBA and other regulations, one, Madam, what's her name? Helen Mensah left your employment without notice, which was contrary to her conditions of service and her own appointment letter. So the auditors established that in lieu of the notice, she should pay 3 months equivalent of salary. What's the situation with that matter?
Thank you, Honorable Chair. When the letter was written to...
VC, I'll prefer that you answer the question before you explain. Has the money been recovered?
Honorable Chair, upon some investigation, you realize that...
Yes, the money has been recovered, then you explain. No, it has not been recovered, then you explain.
Okay, to the extent it's been recovered.
Okay, but if there's some explanation...
The explanation is that what was... the lady in concern has an arrears of 4 months' salary that should have been paid to her. So after the
Prior to her departure.
prior to her departure, because she resumed duty 1st June, but she received the salary as of October, leaving 4 months in arrears. Yeah, unpaid. So she contested the amount that she's supposed to pay. They said, well, if I'm supposed to pay the university 3 months, and I didn't receive 4 months' salary, then pay me the 4 months, then I will use part of it to repay the condition in terms of the 3 months' salary in lieu. And this has been discussed and it's been resolved.
No, I didn't get the conclusion. It's been discussed, and has that been done?
Yes, because eventually, if somebody and it's been established that yes.
Kindly ask the Director of Finance to respond to the rest of the question. You may not have the full details.
So Honorable Chair, so these things were brought to the attention of the external auditors when they came for follow-up. So, and it was clearly established that he wasn't paid for 4 months as against our 3 months notice. So we left with the external auditors.
No, you haven't answered the question. The committee wants to establish whether the 3 months salary in lieu of notice has been refunded. If that has been done, you are trying to explain the process by which you did it.
Yes. Please.
So in effect, you paid the 1 month equivalent of what was due her, and you retained the 3 months to offset the 3 months that she's supposed to refund to the university. Is that the understanding?
Exactly, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, you brought this to the attention.
What I'm getting from this discussion is that the government owes the lady 4 months.
Yes.
She also owes government 3 months.
3 months.
So let's set off.
Exactly.
Pay me 1 month. Or pay me 4 months, I pay you 3 months. But that has not been done. Is there any evidence that she was paid the 4 months?
No.
And then evidence that she paid 3 months to government? Or evidence that she was paid only 1 month? That evidence is not there. We're only assuming that because government owed her only also 4 months, we'll do a set-off. If she's not chasing the remaining 1 month, so be it.
Yes.
That is assumption. But we have to establish first that, is it true that government owes her 4 months? If that is established, then the matter is okay with us.
Honorable Chair, yes, it's established. And it was brought to the attention of the external auditors when they came for the follow-up.
Okay. Auditors, can you confirm that indeed this is the case?
Mr. Chairman, the 4 months arrest is established, and the 3 months is also established. What they need to do is to inform the person in question that they are using 3 months of his or her money to pay, to set off the 3 months that the person owes. Then if the person decides to dash them the 1 month, then the matter is settled. Other than that, the issue will still be lingering on. Who knows what will happen later? Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, whole technical, take concrete steps and regularize this so that auditors don't flag it when next they visit you. And let's also establish that what was owed is sufficient to offset what she owes the university, the actual amount. Okay, Chairman, that will be all for this one.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Who pays the lady? Is it from internal source or from controller?
Honorable Chair, from controller.
So it involves a lot of paperwork.
Yes.
And that is what you are trying to avoid. You don't want to do it. Because the correct thing to be done is that you have to do an input to controller for the lady to be paid the 4 months. Then you retrieve the 3 months from her and pay back to the recovery account. Then the book is cleared. But you don't want to do that. You are only assuming that, oh, once we are owing her 4 months, and she also has 3 months, that settles it. If she come back, now if she come back to collect 1 month, what will you do? So, Director of Finance, do an input entry to controller so that she can be paid the 4 months. And you be on her to also retrieve the 3 months from her and pay back to the recovery account, to clean the book.
Mr. Chairman, well
If
noted.
not, it will linger on. This thing will be reported on over and over and over.
Well noted, Chairman.
Paragraph 198, Honorable Bauer.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Who Technical University, the case against you is about high interest costs on bank overdraft facility. And the issue is that you took an overdraft facility from GCB, an amount of $1,727,165.07. And this included $325,136.86 Ghana cedis as interest. Even though you had a receivable balance from students that you ought to have taken at that time, around 7,443,093.94 Ghana cedis as of December 2022. You didn't pursue this money. You rather went in for a loan at an interest of 325,000 Ghana cedis. And so the authors in paragraph 200 said the inefficient recovery of outstanding student fees and the continuous dependence on overdraft facility resulted in this high interest expense. We'd like to find out from you, what is the practice now? Have you been able to collect these monies that the students owe? And have you stopped the overdependence on loans instead of collecting monies due you to run the university?
Thank you, Honorable Chair. Yes, we have collected the monies that were owed by the students, and as we speak now, the overdraft is no longer there. We have paid off the overdraft.
And what is the position now in relation to your receivable from the students?
Like we told the committee earlier on, we have now intensified our fees collection policy, and the students are now paying the school fees. We have also gotten increased numbers in the student numbers now. So our IGF is going up. So we are hoping that we will not depend on the overdraft any longer.
So in the 2023 report, we don't expect to see students owing you to the tune of millions again.
Yes, the receivables have come down drastically.
Mr. Chairman, I think they are saying they've paid off the overdrafts. On the auditors, can you give us, can you confirm or otherwise of the assertions?
Mr. Chairman, the old overdraft has been cleared, but see, they have a policy. They have an arrangement with the banks. So anytime that they are hard up, they fall on them to get the overdrafts. But the one that we raised issues about is no more there. Thank you.
So who do you have an outstanding facility with the overdraft facility with the bank again?
As a strategy, we usually have we go for approval, but like overdraft, if you don't use it, don't pay interest. But because we may find ourselves hard up somewhere along the line. We get this agreement down, but you use it as and when it becomes necessary. But as I speak to you today, we have not used the overdraft.
Mr. Chairman, that's the situation now. They no longer have any facility running now, and their recoveries of the student fees, they are on course. So that will be for me.
All right. If we have a high interest cost on the bank overdraft, it depicts the economic system we have in the country.
What did you see?
I didn't say anything.
I was not listening. I didn't ask you to repeat for me.
Anyway, let's move on. The last one for Hotenka University is about failure by landlord to insure premises of private hostel. I think that you have an agreement with a private hostel owner where students are living, that it should insure the property. But auditors are saying that the landlord failed to provide evidence of insurance. And you've been asked to ensure that the landlord comply with the provisions of the agreement. Has it done that?
Yes, Honorable Chair. And there is evidence to that effect, which has been submitted to the external auditors as an update.
Auditors, can you confirm this for me?
Mr. Chairman, confirmed. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So that will be all for Hotenka University. I want to thank you very much for coming. You are discharged.
Thank you.
Honorable members, we have come to the end of the scheduled hearing today. Tomorrow we are expecting the metropolitan, municipal, and district assemblies from the Greater Accra region, as well as senior high schools from the Greater Accra region to appear before the committee. So on that note, the committee sitting is adjourned to tomorrow at 9 o'clock in the forenoon.